Boku no Hero Academia and Black Clover are two of the biggest new shonen series, but due to the latter having a rough start to its anime adaptation, the former is seen as far superior. But if the adaptations are ignored and instead the source material is evaluated, is one truly superior to the other? Academia and Clover take different approaches to the shonen battle fantasy genre. Both start with a very Naruto-esque vibe, but then they branch off into two different directions. While both continue to take inspiration from Naruto, Academia focuses on unique and original characters and relationships, a complex story, and pushing forth its themes, while Clover focuses on using characters and story stereotypes in interesting ways, while also showing its themes. One of Academia's most prominent themes is pushing past your limits, and Horikoshi does a great job at conveying that theme. Most of the time, when a character pushes themselves past their limits in battle, they are rewarded with victory. Even when a character has no right to win, if they push themselves hard enough, there is a high chance that they will be victorious. Two great examples of this are Midoriya's fight with Muscular and Kirishima's fight with Rappa. In both fights, the hero was overpowered by the villain's quirk, but by simply pushing beyond their limits, Midoriya was able to win and Kirishima was able to buy enough time for a victory. Even Endeavor is doing a similar thing in the current arc. Clover's themes are more basic. One is teamwork and friendship, while another is that commoners can fight on the same level as nobles. A unique twist on hard work beats natural talent. Teamwork and friendship isn't a very unique theme, as it is seen all over shonen, but Tabata might be the best at conveying these themes. Even in his latest chapter, 163, themes of teamwork and friendship can be seen. Almost every big fight is won by Asta working together with Yuno or the Black Bulls. Even when they are outmatched by a powerful opponent, through teamwork and strategy, they are able to win. The current arc is also doing a great example of promoting these themes. Many of Asta's allies are being possessed, and initially, the only option seems to be to kill them, but when Asta tries to wake them up by letting them know of their friendship, he is rewarded with a new ability that allows him to save them. And to further his message, Tabata makes sure to shun characters who try to ignore teamwork. For example, when Zora secures victory alone in a tournament, he is shunned and learns to work with his team instead. The second theme is conveyed through Asta, Yuno, and Yami, but best in the Royal Knight exam. In Clover, nobles are blessed with a large amount of mana, which allows them to blast out big attacks, but commoners have a small amount and thus can only use small-scale attacks. Asta and Yuno are both commoners, but both of them take the top spots for the most stars achieved among rookies, and Yuno even becomes the #1 newcomer. Yami was also a nobody commoner, but he managed to gain the rank of Grand Magic Knight, which is second to the Magic Emperor. In the Royal Knight exam, commoners and nobles are mixed together in teams, and for the first time, the difference between the two is stark clear. Yet commoners like Asta, Yuno, and Luck are able to carry their teams. Whether you are a fan of these themes or not, it is impossible to acknowledge that the authors are consistent with their themes and are always finding interesting ways to convey it. The ability to hold their themes shows the skill of the author's storytelling. Academia's characters are special in the way that they go through significant changes. For example, Bakugo learns that he needs to change his attitude and shows this when he gives advice to a kid. His relationship with Midoriya changes and he is able to acknowledge him, and he even becomes friendlier with the students at UA. Endeavor lets go of his immense pride when he asks All Might what it means to be the symbol of peace, taking guidance from his greatest rival and obstacle. Todoroki learns that his fire is his own power and not that of his father's that he resents, allowing him to use a power that he kept restricted. Uraraka is able to put her feelings for Midoriya aside in order to focus on becoming a hero. Ida learns to rely on his friends and shows this when he tells Midoriya the same thing in a later arc. Midoriya learns that he needs to find a style unique to him and different from All Might. Characters also have distinct relationships with specific characters to the extent that it creates a lot of shipping in the fandom. Motivations and personalities are also explained well through backstories. Bakugo's violent personality can be traced back to his violent mother, and his arrogance stems from him always being praised as a kid. Endeavor's treatment to his family comes from him realizing that he will never be able to surpass All Might and his goal to create a child that can. The League of Villains and the Yakuza members all band together because they are outcasts in society in one way or another, and many of them are loyal to their leader because said person was the only one to help them when they needed it the most. I will most likely make a more detailed video on Academia's characters due to the complexity of them. Black Clover on the other hand deconstructs characters. Since I already have a full video on this subject, I will summarize this point. Tabata takes an archetype from shonen manga and makes a character out of it. He then comes up with a believable reason as to why a person would behave that way in real life and mixes that into their backstory. One of the biggest differences between Academia and Clover is their story. Academia has a story that is more reminiscent of Naruto. The story goes in a straight line while the world surrounding it continues to change. The story also focuses on the development and the journey of characters, while the story arc is like a medium for the events to happen. The stories of Midoriya, Bakugo, and All Might are most prominent, but other characters like Ida or Todoroki will occasionally have the limelight. Black Clover instead is more reminiscent of Fairy Tail in the way that its themes overshadow the story. It's a more stereotypical, idealistic, and romanticized shonen fantasy adventure with characters and cool fights that takes detours to develop characters and the world. But recently, it has been getting a little less idealistic and a little more story focused with the appearance of a specific race. The biggest difference between the two stories is that, like Fairy Tail, Black Clover seems like it could go on forever, and like Naruto, Academia feels like it's approaching a specific destination, with each arc pulling us closer. Both manga have equally amazing art, and both are filled with decent to okay fights, with the occasional mind blower in strategy or power up. In conclusion, Hero Academia and Black Clover set out to accomplish different goals and through different means, and since they both succeed, the only thing separating them is personal preference. Both are consistent with their themes and find unique ways to convey them. Both have characters that are crafted in different ways but are equally complex. Both have equal quality in fights that occasionally spikes. Both have different styles of stories but succeed in keeping their viewers entertained. Clover lacks things that Academia has, but Academia also lacks things that Clover has. One manga can't do everything, but Academia and Clover do what they do with style and success. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content.